Welcome to Music from the Heartland, with songs at the center, celebrating the craft of songwriting. This episode features co-founder, keyboardist, and main composer for the rock band In Excess, with over 70 million records sold, Andrew Farriss, accompanied by Australian guitar virtuoso Travis New, composer of soundtracks for over 80 video games, and theme music for NBC, Nickelodeon, and many others, Rod Abernethy. And with a truly distinctive blend of folk, soul, and rock and roll, singer-songwriter Murphy. Funding for Songs at the Center provided by...
At the James at Ohio State, a cancer diagnosis is never routine. That's why we opened the James Cancer Diagnostic Center, a place where you can turn if you think you have cancer. Learn more at cancer.osu.edu/diagnostic center.
Funding also provided by Jobs Ohio.
Hey, Grandpa, someday I'm gonna touch the top of that tree.
Well, why stop there when you can touch the sky and create amazing things? And you can touch hearts, expand minds, and imaginations. But no matter what you do, I want you to promise me one thing, that you will always reach for the top.
I promise, Grandpa.
If you can dream it, you can find it here.
Bye, Mr. Tree.
Now the creator and host of our show, singer-songwriter Gnezda.
Welcome to Songs at the Center. We're the fun show that focuses on the life of the singer-songwriter. And on this episode, we're thrilled to have with us Murphy, Andrew Farriss, and Travis New, and Rod Abernethy. Andrew Farriss and Travis New, I'd love to hear a song.
Great. This is a song called Come Midnight, and it's off my self-titled album, Andrew Farriss. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And I could never find a girl like you, somebody who understands me as well as I know you, and you're good to me. I'll be your company anytime, come midnight, when the stars are your only light. Tossing, you're turning, and things just don't go right. If you need somebody, you can call somebody tonight. Come midnight, come midnight, come midnight. Come midnight, come midnight. I guess I'm just another lonely guy, thinking about a special woman with gentle eyes, and you're good to me. Yes, you're a part of me, eternally. If you need somebody, you can call somebody tonight. Come midnight, come midnight, come midnight, come midnight. And I could never find a friend as good as you, somebody who understands me as well as I know you. If you need somebody, you can call somebody tonight. Come midnight, come midnight, come midnight. Come midnight.
Andrew Farriss and Travis New, glad you're here on Songs at the Center with us. Andrew, you've had just an amazing career. You were the keyboardist and song engine, basically, for In Excess in the 80s and 90s. The band actually started in the 70s. Mm-hmm. You're still writing.
Yeah, I can't help it, Eric. I write all the time. In fact, a good friend of mine, Chris, he said, you know, what are you doing later on? I said, writing songs. So I still do it, and I've been writing songs since I was about 10. I didn't know what I was doing. I started off playing piano and when I was 9. And then I got sick of that, and I said to my mother, you know, this is just like school. You do exams, and then they test you on it. I want to play football with my friends. And then I was fooling around. I fell off a fence paling. I landed on 2 nails. So I was laid up in bed. And then Mum came in, she said, do you want to start playing piano again? I said, I'd love to do that.
In the autobiography of In Excess, it's called Story to Story, it comes across as that you weren't really crazy about traveling and touring. You love the music and the audience, but the actual day-to-day traveling didn't really sit with you too well. It kind of reminds me of the Dan Fogelberg song, you know, the audience is heavenly, the traveling was hell. Was that the experience for you?
Well, the truth of it is, when I look back at it, we were just really grateful to have all those fans and people come along to all those concerts we did.
Yeah.
And I don't regret any of it. But I would whinge and complain sometimes about touring because I wanted to concentrate more on writing songs. And I found it really hard living out of a suitcase in concrete boxes for months on end to really stop and concentrate on writing. That was a lot of what was troubling me. Some of our tours were like 14 months and 18 months long, and they would go all around the world. Yeah. And just in the United States alone, we did 13 3-month tours of the United States. It's a different town every night, all across the United States. And we do that all around the world, that kind of stuff. And after a while, you know, I'm like, can I just stop? Because I want to write music, you know. But that's what happens when you're in a band.
Rod Abernethy, thanks for joining us. You have quite a career as a composer for video games and stuff like that. Can you tell us a little bit about what companies you've worked for and you've won some awards and all this?
Well, about 20 years ago, I decided I wanted to get into video game soundtracks.
Yeah.
And it just came about. I did one and then did another, and then all of a sudden we were doing a lot, and then I had 2 other composers at my studio, and we were traveling a lot, and I ended up scoring over 85 video games, and they were for major companies like EA and Activision and Warner Brothers and, you know, everybody else who was making video games. So it was a lot of fun.
And what did you take from that helped you as a songwriter when you returned to songwriting?
I think it's texture. And texture is a funny word. You think about texture in songwriting, texture can be lyrics. It can be how you back your lyrics with chords, because all we were doing mainly were, you know, soundtrack, background music. And it's funny, with video games, a lot of people don't write a melody because that gets in the way of gameplay.
Yeah.
And I was always saying, no, I'm gonna write a melody anyway. You can take it out. And it ended up being a good thing. Because the video game soundtrack we did for the Hobbit game, this was a long time ago, won the best soundtrack of the year at the Game Developers Conference.
It's just astounding to me how many areas songwriters pursue, because, you know, we don't often think about.
It's funny, I never thought I would go back to singing folk and Americana like I started.
Yeah.
So I feel like all that soundtrack work has helped me just be a better writer and more disciplined, even though I do sit with writer's block for days, like, what am I going to do next?
Well, we met through doing a conference together a couple years ago, and you were kind enough to invite me in to do your conference.
Yeah,
with
you were awesome.
Yeah, well, thanks. So were you. All right, we're done complimenting each other. Let's get to your song.
Okay, all right. This song is it generated from a photograph I found at my parents' house, a little black and white, like Polaroid photograph of a old house with my mom. She must have been like 6 years old, standing on the front porch of this gray old house, and it brought back memories, the long dirt road we used to travel to get to that road, and all the times we would have, and I thought, well, here's a good song with a soundtrack. It's called The Long Dirt Road.
Great.
Riding in the back seat of my granddad's Oldsmobile, a dusty trail behind us, we were flying on 4 wheels. The Georgia sun was beaming on endless rows of corn. We made a 2-lane journey to a house at the end of a long dirt road. Dad's rocking on the front porch, Mom's laughing in the den. We'd gather round, safe and sound, there were no worries then. The days went by so quickly, the moon smiling overhead. The nights were calm and peaceful, I could spend forever there. No one said it would be easy to walk this path alone. But if I get lost along my way, I'll dream of that dirt road home. Sitting round the table, so many stories told. Time stands still in black and white. We were young and we were old. Now every wrinkle is a memory in this faded photograph. Feels like I'm trading places with these faces from my past. Now winter's here, the days are short, and nighttime comes too soon. I find myself outside alone, smiling at the moon. I'm not that superstitious, but some things I can't explain. Why my life just keeps changing, and my love remains the same. No one said it would be easy
to walk this path alone. And if I get lost along the way, I'll dream of that dirt road home. I'll dream of that dirt road home.
Wonderful. Thank you, Rod.
Thank you. I listened to anything from Bartok to Bernard Herrmann to, Pantera and Lamb of God. I mean, it is a broad spectrum. And but when I'm playing on stage, I just want to play my acoustic guitar and relate to people. And I really do think acoustic guitar is one of the best things to just go one-on-one with your audience. It's a very intimate experience, and it means a lot to me.
This episode of Songs at the Center comes to you from our home theater, the McConnell Arts Center in Worthington, Ohio.
Well, Murphy, ever since you were on American Idol, you've now got millions and millions of fans on social media. That's got to feel pretty good.
I'm all right with it,
Yeah. So how you keep up with them?
You try to be as personable as possible, answer as many questions as you can, and you try to not lose yourself to the wave, because sometimes you wake up to like 30 people and you don't want to disappoint any of them.
Right. Well, the world's certainly a lot different, because when the rest of us were young and on our way like you, we didn't have social media. And I'm just wondering how do you view the music business now, as opposed to, we'd put out a record and we'd have to travel and promote it and all that. It's a little different now, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an intimate environment now, and people can craft that for themselves. Music used to need to be somewhat boisterous, if you were pushing for the band dream, people, you would have to have coordination, timing with your friends, and social media makes that almost negligible. You could be two different parts of the country and still have a concert, And so I like that. I like that you can kind of make music more of a social aspect because of it,
Yeah. You want to tell us about your song?
Well, this is a song called The Painted Man. It's, to put it simply, we're all beautiful. Some of us want to hang in the Guggenheim, some of us want to hang out in the alley, but we're all worth having. And this is a song about remembering that.
Send me down the line all by myself, just like you do. Tap your foot in time, so I might find some faith in you. You and your painted man. You and your painted man. Slip between the cracks upon that floor you built yourself. Send me somewhere high, somewhere far upon your shelf, so I can see your painted man. So I can see your painted man. Hang me on a wall all by myself, I'm out to dry. Paint my beautiful, bring a tear straight to my eye, so I can be your painted man. Yes, I can be your painted man.
I learned a couple words that are a lot more important if you give them time, you know, to mean more to you, such as the word love. You know, Lionel Richie's biggest push in the show was care, not just, you know, fixing anything, but caring about yourself, caring about your songs, those that you were there with. And I guess I learned to care from different perspectives, from people that I may not have had the luxury to meet otherwise, you know, and I walked away with so much.
I took up freshwater fishing about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And wasn't having any luck. All I was catching were lures at the store. You know, I was buying all this tackle and stuff.
Probably made songwriting look easy.
Well, it did. And a friend of ours in Pennsylvania said, come up to our lake, and I guarantee you'll catch some fish. And I said, no, I won't. You'll hear me cursing from the kayak. But I went out and I caught 7 largemouth bass in 30 minutes.
Wow.
I've never done that again. But that's what this song is about. This is my soundtrack to that experience.
Well, you should be on a fishing show, not a music show.
But it's, I hope I can do that again, but at least I got a good song out of it.
Oh, let's hear it. Thank you, Rod Abernethy.
Thank you.
Murphy, Andrew Farriss, and Travis New. And thank you for joining us. We hope that you'll tune in to television stations all across America where you'll always find Songs at the Center. I'm Eric Gnezda, and we'll see you next time.
Funding for Songs at the Center provided by Jobs Ohio.
Hey, Grandpa, someday I'm I'm gonna touch the top of that tree.
Well, why stop there when you can touch the sky and create amazing things? And you can touch hearts, expand minds and imaginations. But no matter what you do, I want you to promise me one thing, that you will always reach for the top.
I promise, Grandpa.
If you can dream it, you can find it here.
Bye, Mr. Tree.
Additional funding provided by
At the James at Ohio State, a cancer diagnosis is never routine. That's why we opened the James Cancer Diagnostic Center, a place where you can turn if you think you have cancer. Learn more at cancer.osu.edu/diagnostic center.
Learn more about Songs at the Center at songsatthecenter.tv.